I learned a lot on this last trip we just took to Europe. If you've been following along, we were there for 18 days. It was incredible. We went to Madrid and Barcelona and then took a Disney cruise, basically around the Iberian Peninsula. We stopped in Lisbon, Portugal, a couple other stops in Spain, and then we spent time in London. We saw a lot of different types of weather, and I definitely felt that with all the trains we were on and airplanes and automobiles and boats, we were trudging all this stuff around and our 2 young kids. And I do feel like there were a few things I brought that I'm like, I shouldn't have brought it. And a few things I actually wish I did bring. And then other things that I use like crazy and I'm so glad I brought. So we're gonna go through all of that while we unpack together. I really hope this video is helpful for you. That is the goal in doing this, is to really help you out if you are nervous about a trip coming up or you're just trying to get all your ducks in a row and make sure you've got what you need. I got you. Now, if you are going to Italy and Greece and you're watching this video, I did this same style of video last summer when we went there. I will link that below if you want to check that out because it's kind of like specific to Italy and Greece and very, very hot weather. Although we saw some very hot weather as well. So let me talk gear. First up, I bought this cheap purse, and I say cheap because it wasn't nearly as nice as another cheap purse I have. Let me explain. This one was from Amazon. I bought it very last minute, which is why I bought it from Amazon. I owned this one in like a tan color, but it got, I mean, it was used and abused, that sweet purse. But it was from Uniqlo and it was inexpensive, but it had more space. This one was exactly the same like size and shape, but it was as if the bottom, it wasn't as wide. And so I couldn't quite fit as much in here as I wanted. But I was glad to have this kind of crossbody flexible purse. You could size any way you want. You can kind of keep it close to you and it works with everything. Now I did bring a cute purse as well. And I think I used that one more, but I didn't mind having the two. Neither of them took up much room and it was kind of nice to switch. That would be an easy thing to just bring one of, obviously, but I'll show you the other one. It's cute. It's cute. But this is where, especially on the days we were traveling between locations, I could have, you know, my wallet in there, my little thing of like Dramamine or aspirin, things like that. Tums, always, it's empty. I always had a hair clip with me, some gum, I had my AirPods with me, and then like my phone. So all of that fit in there, and my sunglasses fit in there too, but I just wanted a little more breathing room. But still worked well, but I will link the one to Uniqlo because I think that one is better. They have different colors. And I will say I saw this style of purse so much. Everywhere we went, like everyone was wearing this style of purse. So interesting. So as always, we brought our base suitcases and I brought my Vera Bradley backpack. I love this. Now, some of you guys saw some of my photos on Instagram and asked about this bag. This is actually our diaper bag. We recently got it from Away. I bought it just before this trip. I love it. I need to clean it though. Oh my gosh, just, you know, straps and then sweating and like, oh my gosh. This, I loved this as a diaper bag or backpack, but it was very pricey. So I'm really hoping it cleans up well because I was a big fan, but we're not really going to talk about that. But if you were in need for a diaper bag, I really liked that one. This bag I loved from Vera Bradley. I've used for years on all of our long trips, even when we went to like Egypt. Like this has been my boo. I don't know if I think it is still sold. I'm not sure, but it has tons of different pockets. It is comfortable to wear. It's got 2 drink holder things. Like it's got this hidden pocket. It's just amazing. So that is my carry-on almost always on big long trips. And then the nice thing is I'm able to fit some kid things in here too. Like I've got a tablet for one of my kids in here, a couple of like water wow, things like that. And then our base suitcases we love, we swear by them. Their warranty is amazing. We had a zipper on the inside rip at one point and I reached out to them and they just sent me a new one. Didn't even ask for the old one to be sent back. So it's really good customer service, I think, which is good because again, it's expensive, but we ended up having to buy a suitcase while we were there. And it was like 30 pounds from Primark or maybe even like a TK Maxx out there. So it wasn't wildly expensive, but we needed it. Tyler, we love souvenirs, but Tyler has this like this Village of the Whirl. So he bought all these different like statues. Anyway, we ended up filling up a suitcase and just kind of spreading the weight around. It worked out well, but that cheaper suitcase versus this and kind of moving them around the airport, I was like, okay, there's definitely a huge difference in the way this one feels in so many ways, in the way it maneuvers versus a cheaper one. So if you were ever curious. All right, Shall we dive in? This is gonna be a long one, okay? Strap in. So I'm not gonna show you every single thing in here, but just to give you an idea of some things that I'm really glad that I brought specifically in my carry-on. This is something you can clip onto like your tray table and even shut it, and it's magnetic. So if you have like a mag-safe phone case, you can stick it on there and just have it basically out of the way when the tray is up. It's really nice, like if you're watching something you downloaded on there. So this is one that Tyler and I both bring with us. We recently bought some new adapters for different countries. This one from Anchor I liked because it was really, really thin and it had more of the USB-C to it. So this one has US, Australia, UK, and then of course the like main Europe one you see most other places. And we needed both the UK one and the like kind of EU one. So that was nice. And again, it has regular USB, micro USB, and then of course, just the regular plug. It's really thin and lightweight. It charged quickly. I was also glad this one got so, I don't know what happened to this. Like what in the world? But it's a little charger. I don't think they sell this exact kind. And you do need to be a little careful now with portable chargers on airplanes. Like if you're gonna charge your phone with it, it needs to be visible, that kind of thing. But I really like it. Find one that has a percentage that shows you your battery level that's left. We were able to charge an iPad with this on an airplane, which was great because the plug was not working. I also have a little drink holder that like clips on the side of your tray table as well. During takeoff and landing, you're not supposed to use it, so I will say that, but I'll usually just wait and hold my drink. Like I had an iced coffee on our second journey home and I just kind of waited, and then once we were in the air I put it on and they didn't mind at all. So this one is great because it's so lightweight and it takes up no room. I've tried different versions and I like different versions for different things, but that one's great. Oh, snacks galore, you know, cords, always tissues. Oh, I'm always a proponent of bringing like individually wrapped wipes with you if you're just like, you know, you're feeling a little funky. It's perfect to have this kind of thing. Again, they take up no room. Oftentimes I'll keep one just in my purse as well. Okay, moving along. Markers for the kids, of course. Compression socks. Need to wash these. Big fan of compression socks, especially for flights longer than a few hours. I don't mess around with blood clots, okay? I really don't. Anyway, this is something I've had for a few years now, and I just kind of use it to hold my Kindle, which is now, I read it at night, so it's over by my nightstand. But I also print out like some Sudoku and crosswords along with the answers if I need them. I have a mechanical pencil. I have my AirFly so that I can use wireless headphones with the in-flight entertainment thing. It works really well. Just make sure you have like a screenshot of how to connect it on your phone because I forget every time. So anyway, but this just works great at holding all of those things. Sometimes I'll slip my AirPods case just in there and then I'll have this live in the little gross pocket on the airplane. But it's like an all-in-one holder for all of that, and I think that's nice because oftentimes I feel like I have little pieces floating around everywhere, you know? I don't know why I'm putting it back in there like I'm going back out. So then in this back pocket, I've got things for the kids. Water wow. I did bring a leg sling. I was very glad. I upgraded to one that's like got a board and it's flat and it is amazing. I've got some over-the-ear headphones. This was my first time traveling with over-the-ear headphones. It was nice. I actually slept while wearing these, and usually with AirPods, they have some of the noise cancellation, but this, it was just nice. These are like the Beats by Kim Kardashian ones. I actually just wanted the color because I feel like they'll show makeup less. You know what I mean? It was nice to have. We'll see in future trips if I end up bringing it or not, like if it's worth the room. I just got a super cheap pair of this kind of sleeping mask. Again, I actually slept with this and I like the extra space because it leaves room for your eyelashes. Oh, one of our coffee mugs we bought in, I think this is the Portugal one. We collect coffee mugs for sure. I also had a change of clothes for myself in a wet bag. I always have them for the kids, like in the diaper bag, but bring one for yourself if it's a long journey because you might spill coffee on yourself, wine, your kid might throw up on you, you might get peed on. Like, you don't know what could happen, and it's a long travel day. Or if at the end of your journey, you just want to change into a fresh outfit. So I always have usually like a comfy t-shirt and like shorts, something like that, or leggings. I brought a baseball cap in there. That was nice. Push pop. This was like a Hail Mary if we needed it on the flight. We did not end up needing it. It actually went surprisingly well. I need to get these snacks. I'm just gonna put all the snacks up there. Some Disney pins. Oh, there's the little thing of Tums. I was looking for another one of them. As it turns out, eating and drinking whatever you want for 2.5 weeks does not usually agree with your stomach. Okay, and then in the very back, I had my laptop with some stuff downloaded to it. and some like coloring books, sticker things for the kids. So, and a tablet for the kids as well. I think that's everything. Is that right? Oh, I always bring along our luggage scale. I watched a lot of travel-y videos before I went, and I've heard some people say, you know, you don't really need a luggage scale. I'm like, I totally disagree. I feel like you do, because if you're always near that 50-pound limit, like on the way home, you need to know what it weighs before. I would like to know it before I get to the airport and find out the hard way. So I totally bring this with me. It's, you know, small, it's lightweight. Yay. So carry-on is empty. I mean, I need to put some stuff away, but at least it's empty. So one thing we did get this time, we always have black suitcases. They're all the same. So I did get a pack of like 5 of these things, just so that if someone grabbed our bag and thought it was theirs, they might pull up the handle to start moving it and be like, oh wait, ours doesn't have this. So it wasn't necessarily to be able to spot it on the baggage thing. It was more so that someone wouldn't accidentally take our very boring looking black bags with them. The reason this was on my mind was because we watched that happen in real time. Someone took a bag away and I watched them, not with our bag, and then I watched someone else mad at someone, and that was the exact situation. So anyway, just a little tip. You could also get like super bright luggage straps. Like there's lots of options. So, all right, let's open this up. This is not gonna be as pretty as it was. Let me pop up a picture, okay, of what my suitcase packed look like. I was pretty proud this time. I used packing cubes. I don't always. I've learned that the trick with packing cubes is if you don't like them, it's probably because you're overstuffing them, and it is so true. So I made sure I wasn't putting too much in there, and then the compression actually worked. It actually saved me space. So I really enjoyed using them this time. So it's not nearly as pretty this time because we were just trying to get things done. Actually, it's not terrible. So yeah, these are the packing cubes I have. I really liked them. This time around, I don't think I compressed all of them because this is all dirty clothes. These are all dirty clothes. But yeah, this is what it looks like compressed, and this is what it looks like not compressed. So I mean, it's pretty incredible. But yeah, I liked this set. These seemed really, really well made. So let's talk through clothes and what I'm glad I brought, what I wish I'd brought more of. So the climates we were going to were hot. I mean, Madrid was hot, Barcelona was hot, but the one thing I wish I'd planned for was cooler weather, especially in London. Everything we had looked at was like, well, it's still summer in London, like it might rain, so we all brought a packable rain jacket. And we did end up using this a couple times, and the girls used theirs too, so I was so glad. I almost didn't bring it, and I'm really glad we did. I mean, you can get rain jackets that are really small. So one thing I regret not bringing was a jean jacket. I thought about bringing one, and I didn't, but it would have been the perfect thing to be able to throw on with literally any outfit, morning or night, and it just keeps you a little bit warmer, a little bit cooler. Even if it rains, you know, it's a little more protected, and it just would have solved a lot of my problems. So we ended up actually in London going to Primark and TK Maxx and getting a few more like pants for the kids, another sweater for each kid, things like that. So I ended up buying a cardigan, and that worked out well. I mean, all of these were like, you know, 12 pounds. They weren't crazy expensive, and it's really cute. I made myself a rule where I was like, don't buy anything just out of necessity that you wouldn't wear other times. So I was very picky. So I thought this was cute, but I wish I'd packed, like I said, a jean jacket or a cardigan, something like that. What I did pack was just like a comfy sweatshirt. It was kind of thinner. It's what I traveled with. It's like a Wari one that matches my joggers. That's like my classic travel day outfit. But it just wasn't warm enough when I needed it, and it didn't just go with every outfit. So something open like a cardigan or jean jacket. I brought a few dresses with me. I'll pop some pictures on the screen. I brought some things from Quince. I've worked with Quince. I'm not working with anyone on this video. Quince is a brand I would definitely recommend if you're looking for things that are a little more like you can mix and match with different stuff. They're a little more timeless. And I feel like, I don't know, that has kind of become a go-to for me. This dress right here, I love the color. I wore this twice on the trip. I don't think 3 times, but twice. This dress I brought because it was perfect on the Disney cruise. I felt like it was really cute. It's this white one with this little floral detail. I only wore it once. So I kind of regretted, like I wish I'd brought another dress like this that I would have been more likely to wear more than once. I'm always glad that I bring shorts that are stretchy to go underneath dresses. Not just for like modesty, like if, you know, it's a shorter dress, but also for comfort. Like if you're walking 20,000 steps like we were every day, chafing, you know, this prevents that. It's amazing. So you can get them super cheap. Okay, one thing I'm so glad I brought is this white button down. So this, again, worked really well for when we were chillier. I just wanted something a little warmer, like a sweater. But I was able to wear this in a lot of different ways. Like one of the more recent days, I like tied it over, I don't remember what I tied it over, a dress maybe? Whatever it was. And it was so great, but it also is great for just like low-key sun protection, just to pop it on if you're like, okay, my shoulders are burning and I don't have sunscreen with me. It works so well in so many different ways. I feel like this kind of shirt is now something I will probably pack on every trip to Europe that I take because it works in so many different ways. So I'm so glad that I brought that specific one. And this one is so great because it's like thin and lightweight. One regret is that I brought way too many. I can find more. I think I brought like 4 kind of like plain t-shirts. Now I do swear by t-shirts like this when it comes to travel days, but also they go with everything. Like this would go with a little skirt. It would go well with jean shorts. It would go with joggers. But I think I just brought too many. And like this one, I brought a white one. I brought a light gray one. I think I brought a pink one. And in fairness, one of them was like my extra outfit. One of them I was wearing on the travel day, but it was too many. Like I should have just done 2. I brought 3 pairs of pajamas. We ended up doing laundry on the cruise ship, which is always a nightmare depending on which cruise. Like it's so hard to find an open washer, but we ended up doing laundry twice on the cruise. And it worked out well because we'd had, 5 or 6 days in Europe before the cruise. Then we had like 5 days after. But I had 3 pairs of pajamas and I really only needed 2. And to me, like the idea of 2 pajamas for 18 days, I'm like, there's no way. I definitely, wear them a few days in a row. But like, it worked out fine, especially if you're going to do laundry somewhere. And I know this video is going to be so long. Like I said, on the laundry note, I learned on this trip that 2 things. One, I brought little Tide packets. One of the best things that I brought. They're so inexpensive, but it's like liquid Tide, basically. And you pour it in your sink and you can wash some clothes, socks, underwear, shirts, pants. I did this green dress I washed in the sink. I let it air dry overnight, like over the shower or whatever. It smelled amazing. It was so completely clean. I was astounded at how well those little sink packets work, and they take up no room. So highly recommend bringing those, even if you just end up doing, socks and underwear, whatever. But the other thing I learned about laundry this trip was that there are, at least in London, I have a feeling they're everywhere, there are companies that will come to your hotel. Because oftentimes like hotel offers laundry services, but it's like $15 for a shirt, You put all your clothes in a bag. They will take it, launder it for like $30 and then bring it back to your hotel the next day. That's insane. And it's like based on poundage, but even still, no matter how you slice it, it's so much cheaper if there's not a laundromat near or your place doesn't have washer and dryer. So if you're going on a longer trip, I feel like that's valuable information to know. We didn't end up doing it this trip, but I'm like, I will probably utilize something like that in the future. I brought my black athletic dress. Love it. I finally got one that's got what they call easy peasy. Get it? Where you can easily go to the bathroom without having to take the entire dress off. So I love that. I brought black. I almost brought a color, but I'm like, you know what? Again, black goes well with everything. I can put that long sleeve white shirt over it and it looks cute. I could just wear it as it is and it works. Very, very versatile. And another shirt I'm so glad I brought is just kind of a linen short sleeve button down. I've had this one for a few years now. I don't know if they still sell this like exact one, but this I probably wore 3 times, maybe 4 times. It goes with everything. It's cute. It looks cute in pictures. I didn't end up wearing this tank top at all. I don't even think I wore this at all. Thought I would. I really just brought too many shirts. I also brought a workout outfit. And I only brought it because I was like, all the places we were staying have a fitness room. Like, maybe I will. I tried one time on the cruise to work out and it was so busy in there. I was like, forget it. It's a sign that I'm not supposed to work out on my vacation. Anyway, I think those were the main things with that. The other thing that I loved, and I think we also have like a dirty laundry pile over there. I'm not going to go digging through. Linen type pants. I have this pair from Kohl's that is my absolute favorite pair. And I should really just see, do they still sell it and do they make it in other colors? Because there's something about, and it's my specific body type. It fits my waist just right. It doesn't squeeze too tight. They're comfortable to wear. I wore those pants like 4 times, maybe 5. I wore them a lot. Because again, once we needed like warmer clothes in London, I was like, well, I'll just wear these pants. I think I sink washed them twice. Like, it worked out well. I ended up buying another pair of pants at, I think, Primark or somewhere, and they were okay. I'd wear them again, but they just don't fit the way, you know, that the other ones do. So popping in to add a couple more things. Another dress I loved and wore like 3 times was this one. I'll show it on. I just opened a suitcase back there. You might be able to see the tip of it. The one we bought while we were there. And I forgot we divvied the weight. And so I put my makeup in there and a few other like dirty laundry things. I also had my travel pillow that I brought this time. So I am testing them all out. I've tested, I think, most of the ones on the market. My favorite so far had been the one from Cabot. However, this is my new favorite. You saw how small it was. You blow it up and it literally takes, you're not gonna believe how fast it is. Okay. That's it, 3 blows. And it's blown up. So it's not like you're sitting there blowing, I don't know what in the world kind of, but anyway, you can loosen it, tighten it. I ended up putting it around my person like this, okay? And sleeping like this. And it, because I tightened it, it's not sliding around, but it's enough, like it's thick enough to actually hold your head up a little bit better than some of the other ones I've tried, like the turtle pillow I tried in the past. That one I felt like my neck was too far down. Anyway, total convert to this kind. Never thought I would be. But you could also just like lay it against whatever, like if you were on the window seat, and it feels more like a pillow. It's awesome. And then my makeup. Okay, we're almost there. This is the bag I brought this time. You guys know I'm a makeup bag collector. I just love travel products and makeup. So I've tried a lot. So I know some of you guys are laughing because you're like, oh, that's a new one. I haven't seen that one. This one was very simple. And I will say, I think I really loved the simplicity of this one. This one is just the open container and then this here. And I was able to put all of my makeup brushes up here, no problem. I will say I brought 2 sunscreens. I wish I just brought one. I ended up using this one the entire time. I only brought like 2 lip products, which I was really proud of, and I actually used both of these. The only other lip product I brought was a red lip, because oftentimes like 1 or 2 nights in a trip, I'll wear a red lip and just enjoy it. I didn't end up doing that this trip though, so I feel like I probably could have gotten away without bringing it. But other than that, I feel like I actually used everything I brought. So I feel pretty good about that. I did bring a few shades of like makeup products, but that was because I wasn't sure if I was self-tanning and stuff, if I needed to mix things. Like I love this e.l.f. product and I got a darker shade to be able to mix with. So I used all 3 of these in different combinations, but it kind of felt like overkill, you know? Anyway, so there you go. A little update on the makeup. I know some of you guys that are new to my channel here, I didn't talk a lot about makeup here, but a lot of my videos, I talk about like beauty products and beauty faves. So there's a little sneak peek. I brought way too many pairs of shorts. Now, I don't think this would always be true because if it happened to be warmer the latter half of our trip, I probably would have worn these more. So it's just kind of specific to this trip. My favorite thing I brought though were these athletic skort pair. I've talked about these a weird amount on my channel, I know, but there's something about the way they fit around your waist. They like suck you in, but they're still comfy. Like they're the perfect ones. So those are the ones I wanted to highlight. The rest I brought 1 pair of jean shorts, 1 pair of white, and then a pair. See, I brought 2 pairs of black. I should have just brought 1. You know when you're packing and you're like, well, just in case. But I'm like, I need to remember that A, I can use those little Tide Sync packs. So if I wear the black pair and I'm like, oh, I need them again tomorrow, I can. Like I have the power to wash them and plan for that. But it's those what ifs that crawl into your mind, you know? All right, I brought some bathing suit things. Those aren't really that exciting. I brought way too many cover-ups though. Guys, I brought 3 bathing suit cover-ups. With how well I can pack some other things, there are random categories that I'm like, what in the world? I thought we'd be swimming way more on the cruise. We only ended up swimming 2 of the days. I brought self-tanner, didn't use it once. I actually ended up using the, Tan Luxe lotion that it's like a gradual tanner versus like a foam whole thing. I did not use this once. So that was surprising because most trips I do, but now that I know that the gradual tanner stuff that works really well exists, I just put some into like a little travel container and, you know, brought a little laundry bag. These are so nice to have for all of the laundry type things. Swimsuits, I always bring little slippers that are washable. This is a non-negotiable for me when I travel. Hotel floors are gross, you know. And then I've got an empty one. I'm sure it's all of the laundry. I also have some like Disney cruise specific things. I don't think I'm gonna go through, but it was like door decorations we had on our door. I can pop up a picture of our door on the cruise. We had some lights, like we really did it up this trip, which was fun. I think that's what's in here too. Yeah, just more Disney-y things. Okay, here's another regret. I brought one pair of Mickey ears for the Disney cruise. That was perfect. I only, however, ended up wearing them like one day. And I think if my daughter hadn't reminded me that I had brought hers, I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, I probably could have gotten away without bringing them, but we love Disney. Like, so anyway, I brought 3 pairs of sunglasses only because 2 of them fit really small in here. I did not open these once. I wore the one pair that was in my purse the entire trip. So yet again, another regret was bringing this many pairs. Like, I think max of 2 because they're different vibes you might be going for, but at no point did I ever get into that. I also brought my glasses. I brought a cream colored hat. So I brought 2 baseball caps. That's another thing, like this and the black one. I ended up wearing both, I will say, but I probably didn't need to bring both. Okay, one thing I'm so glad I brought was a bag of meds. So this is not just medicine in here. I also have things like vitamin C packets. My new favorite thing are these emergency crystals. You literally, here, I'll honestly do one right now. No, I don't want it to mess with my coffee taste. You don't need water. You literally just put it on your tongue. It tastes kind of good. And it's just packed with all kinds of stuff. So those were our new discovery we loved on this trip. But yeah, also bringing like hydration packets, things like that. Band-Aids for the kids. This is our little medicine thing. I'm sure you've seen these. They're all over Amazon. They're very inexpensive. Yeah, so that's what's in there. We usually have Tums in there. So nice to have one place where all of these things go, you know. I think I'm gonna take this unopened thing of tissues here and put them in here for our next trip, and I just leave that packed and ready to go. I brought a new jewelry case with me, and I really liked it. I have used the same like little square one for years and years, and I wanted to switch it up, and this one took up very little room, but I could bring so much more, and it was so much more easy to keep organized versus the smaller ones. So I even bought some jewelry on the trip. Like I bought these little earrings. I bought a bracelet, but it broke the next day. I was so sad. But this organization for the necklaces was my main thing. Every time I used my old one, the necklaces always got tangled. So this one is perfect. It actually keeps them separate completely. And there was just plenty of room for everything. So I was thrilled with this little purchase here. This was the other purse. It was so pretty. Like, I'll show a picture of me wearing this purse. It worked well. It had even more room. So for most of the time, I used this. I think the second half of the trip, I switched to the black one and used that more. But such a fan. It matched every outfit perfectly. Brought my hair curling wand. I definitely used that. I used just the blow dryer. I never travel with the blow dryer. I brought some shoes. So this is where some more regrets. So the main shoes that I wore on this trip are from Amazon. They're the white ones I've talked about a ton. However, they got so dirty on this trip, which is to be expected. I am kind of thankful though that I wore them because A, I had no blisters. They were super comfortable. You can slip them on. I pretty much wore those every single day of the trip. So I brought little black flats that are super comfy. I did end up wearing these once or twice, but anytime we were going to be out walking, I just wanted to wear the tennis shoes because I knew like I'm going to be so glad I wore tennis shoes on, and we walked so much like every single day. But I did bring flip-flops for the pool. That was necessary. And there was one shower that I showered in, and I was glad to have them. Oh, wait, that was at the spa thing, so never mind. But anyway. And then these I also wore like once or twice as like kind of a dressier option. I didn't want to bring heels. I knew I wouldn't wear them much. But for like the nicer dinners on the cruise, this worked really well, and they're very comfy. They didn't take up a lot of room, but I think if I did it over again, I would just pack these and not these, and then the flip-flops, and then just have the tennis shoes. Now, I do have a favorite pair of like travel sandals that I highly recommend. I mentioned them in the Italy and Greece video too, that are like, they almost are comfortable like tennis shoes. I didn't feel that I needed that for this trip because I was like, I don't think we'll be walking so much. Well, we did. Kind of wish I'd brought them. Don't put that back in there, Jess. A bunch of dirty clothes. I brought a bunch of chargers and stuff. The only other charger thing I wanted to mention was I did upgrade to a nicer, kind of more powerful travel charger. So it folds in like this, as you saw, and then you just use your cable to plug it in. But it can charge your watch back here, your AirPods there, and then your phone here. It took up such little space. The one I had, It wasn't charging properly every time, but it tri-folded out, and so it kind of took up a bunch of room. This is just like a little more compact. It's all vertical. It worked great. It charged stuff very, very fast. So then lastly would be my toiletry bag. This one was a very simple one. It was a hanging one, but what are the odds that where we stayed, there was nowhere to hang, like at any of the places. On the cruise, I was able to, but the other hotels, there was nowhere to hang this bag. Like, I feel like oftentimes I would bring my other one I love that kind of matches the book bag, and it's one that's tabletop, but on a recent trip, I was like, you know what? Most of the time there's not enough counter space. So I was like, I'll bring a hanging one, and then there was nowhere to hang. So there's that. This is not packed super well now. I was just kind of getting everything in there, but I am shocked consistently by how much fits in here, and you can still zip it, and it doesn't take up that much room in your suitcase. Tide pen, highly recommend. We use this a ton. I'm trying to see if there's like any highlights in here of things. I always recommend that you have like a small sunscreen, and I'll usually just keep this in my purse while we're out and about. That way if we need to, you know, I was gonna say upgrade, apply a little bit more, you have something. The other thing I always recommend is bringing safety pins. You never know when you might need it if you lose a button. And again, they take up very little room. And moleskin bandages. This comes like in a roll, and you could pre-cut it into strips if you want, whatever. This is amazing if you or someone in your travel party gets blisters anywhere. This is like the only thing that will stay in place on your foot when it's rubbing against the shoe the next day, you know, but it actually makes it feel better. Like, it actually protects it. So highly recommend bringing some of that. Everything else I feel like is pretty standard, you know, toiletry type stuff. Nothing super exciting to write home about. Let me make sure. Oh, another thing I feel like people don't talk about, bring some pimple patches with you. If you know you break out, on another trip, I had broken out like a ton, and I didn't have anything like this. And I was like, man, that would solve my problem. So we ended up going to a drugstore and I bought some, but I'm like, that takes up such a small, like literally it takes up no space at all, and it weighs nothing, but it's nice to have when you need it. So highly recommend bringing that as well. I did end up running out of a few toiletries. So if you have that thing in the back of your head that you're like, I know I'm gonna run out of this on this trip if I bring this one, but I don't wanna bring a second one. I mean, you might just have to buy it at a drugstore there. That's what happened to me. I ran out of makeup remover, and I knew I would, because I was like, this doesn't feel like it's gonna be enough, and it wasn't. So the fun thing is, when you do run out of things, it's not a big deal, and anywhere you go, there's a drugstore or pharmacy. So I ended up going in, and the lady helped me find this makeup remover. It worked great. I also was out of hairspray, so she found me a hairspray that worked. It was a little more expensive than what I wanted to buy, but it worked. You know, generally you're going to places where you can find the same things that you use at home, so it's not that big of a deal, I guess is what I'm saying. So that's generally everything. Then I just have some dirty clothes from me and the kids. I did bring my external hard drive for work purposes, but I didn't end up using it. But that's kind of one of those things that I'm like, but if I needed it, I would have needed it. So I'm glad I brought it, but I'm also glad I didn't actually need it, I guess. So yeah, as a general rule, the things I think I regretted the most was bringing too many of certain categories. But I do feel like other than that, I feel like I packed really well. There wasn't so much extraneous stuff that I was like, oh my gosh. The packing cubes, I do think helped me a little bit when it came to packing and unpacking in different locations. If you're moving around a lot, I ended up only pulling out what I would need for that few days instead of bringing out everything like I sometimes like to do. So that was great too. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful in one way or another. I am planning to post a little bit of my like outfits I wore while I was there in some kind of reel or something on my Instagram. So definitely follow me over there if you're not already, and you'll see that soon, just to give you, if you need a little inspo of that. If you are into this kind of content, watch this video next. This is the one I did in Italy and Greece. And then if you are not into that, watch this video. This is one where I shared my top travel favorites from Amazon. These are things that I have loved, some of which you saw today, and then there's even more stuff there too. I hope you'll subscribe. I vlog my everyday life with my family. We travel all of the time, like I said too. The travel videos will be going up on Tyler's channel. That is where those go. So if you're into that kind of content, definitely subscribe to him over there. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye, friends.